If you want to shop Buffy right now, all you have to do is take out your
Can my side be firm?
And my side's super soft.
With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
But can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable.
And snoring?
No problem. And done.
Will it help me keep up with him?
Yep.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Not promise, prove. Don't miss the final days to save $1,000 on the new Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Now only $17.99. And Sunday.
Can my side be firm?
And my side's super soft.
With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
But can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable.
And snoring?
No problem. And done.
Will it help me keep up with him?
Yep.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Not promise, prove. Don't miss the final days to save $1,000 on the new Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Now only $17.99. And Sunday.
There I am. And there you are. You sound good. Yeah. No. Nope. It's the TV cartoons. Yeah. That's going to be a problem. Definitely coming through. Hi, bud. How are you? Good to see you. Had a rather mild morning, so everything's kind of topsy-turvy. We've got some gravitational disturbances from the rear coming up our sixer. Yeah, nothing to worry though. We'll just, we'll do a little flip-flop. Won't even notice it happens. One day you wake up, you're going to have citrus trees growing outside. You're like, what in the world? What is going on here? Oh my goodness, you got a smoke detector going off. Oh, he's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Knows how to do it. He's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
You know. Good morning. Good morning.
Muppet Babies was the greatest cartoon that was
Yeah.
ever made. Muppet Babies was an amazing cartoon. All the adventures, so many adventures. Old Big Blue Nose Gonzo, he would just take you all around the world. Such a yeah, every Muppet Babies thing.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Generated now, of course, like all cartoons are. All CGI.
What are you talking about? We are live, brother. We are live. We were talking about Muppet Babies. Good morning. This is Violet. Oh my God, Nabu with me here. Say hi, Nabu.
You there, bud? Hey. Where did you go? Well, there you are. Can you hear me?
You lost me somehow. I don't know exactly what happened there. Next thing I know, I hear Chewbacca. But I don't hear anything. There's nothing coming.
How's that? Nothing? Are you getting anything from me? You can hear me now?
Yeah,
There we go.
you're there
All right.
now.
We are there. We are live.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to
We're
you, buddy.
live.
Yeah.
Large and in charge. I heard Chewy. He's at the coffee pot.
Yeah.
Fixing him some morning brew.
Yes.
Morning brew with the crew.
Morning brew with the monkey crew.
That's right.
Morning brew with the monkey
Catch your
crew.
rays. Catch your morning rays.
Morning rays. Well, anything interesting happened overnight while we were all sleeping? I wonder.
Good cold sleeping weather. That's for sure.
For sure, yes.
I had to pull in a hibiscus tree last night to stop it from freezing.
Really?
I hope I got it in time. It's like a 150-pound pot, you know, one of those big, huge 80 gallons. Yeah,
Okay.
the, the things we do. But now we are creating oxygen within our internal environment. You know, got this big hibiscus growing. Now, can't you take hibiscus flowers and make a tea? Seems like I heard that somewhere. Seems like they put red hibiscus in just about every national organic sports drink anymore.
Yeah. Hibiscus is, we're going to find out it's bad for us. Watch. All right.
Dryer sheets. This just in, dryer sheets in your dryer releases high amounts of carcinogens.
Yeah.
So if you're venting your dryer into any section of your house and not out the roof or outside,
We're just pumping.
you're going to get cancer.
Just pumping carcinogens in. Or you could just quit using
I'm
dryer
pumping.
sheets. Dryer
Yeah,
sheets.
you use the
they
liquid
destroy
stuff, but I'm
dryers.
sure I'm sure the liquid stuff has the same thing in it. You know,
Yeah.
it's heating up a chemical that is releasing the carcinogen.
Right.
You know, that's how carcinogens are created. You know, cooking bacon at too high of a temperature, burning the bacon, releases carcinogens.
That's why I cook mine in the air fryer. 400 degrees, 10 minutes,
Yep.
comes out perfect.
Bacon.
Yeah, bacon's the bomb.
Yummy.
Right?
Yeah, bacon. So when you go, let's say you go to Cracker Barrel, you know, and you get breakfast there. Do you get the sausage biscuit, you know, with the sawmill gravy and then some bacon? Or do you get the sausage sawmill gravy and then get more sausage to throw up in that gravy? Or do you just go all out and get the bacon and the sausage?
Oh, honey, I'm a fat girl. I love sausage.
Yeah, see? Because the sawmill
Oh.
gravy, it's just country gravy. It
Right.
doesn't have sausage in it. So if
Yeah.
you get the side of sausage, you can chop them up and throw them up in it, and voila.
Bam.
You've got yourself some sausage gravy. You know?
Even though this
When
is
you reach for a biscuit, do you grab a biscuit or do you grab a cornbread?
Depends on what I'm eating with it.
Well, you know, they bring them out first. Food ain't even here yet. They're like, here, would you like some breads and some jellies and some butters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I always go for the biscuit because the cornbread is not Jiffy cornbread. I was raised on Jiffy cornbread, which is like sweet cornbread.
Right?
You know, what they have at Cracker Barrel is more like old school cornbread, which is basically just cornmeal and some eggs, maybe a little bit of baking powder up in it.
Right.
I like that sweet cornbread. But now, I won't eat a biscuit from Cracker Barrel unless they give me some of that wild blackberry jelly.
Oh, yeah? You gotta have that, huh?
They can give me all the strawberry and the grape they want. I just won't eat a biscuit unless if there's blackberry jelly on the table.
Really?
Very nostalgic about things like that.
Really?
And then, like, if I do get the pancake breakfast, they best be bringing me out 2 of them little bottles of maple syrup now. Now, I don't care if I'm not using both of them. Typically, I'll use one, and I'll pocket the other one and take it home and just add it to my big jug at home. You know? We're a long ways away from maple syrup country. It's expensive around here.
For sure, man. Who doesn't love maple syrup?
I don't buy any other syrup. I don't buy the Miss Butterworths. I don't buy any other. It's all corn syrup, not, you know, table syrup. Basically, is it what it's derivative of? You know, table syrup's really popular, but it's just corn syrup is all it is, with a little
it's
bit of molasses added to
artificially
it for color.
flavored corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup at that, kids. The bad stuff.
That's right. That's right. It's not good for you.
Nope.
But now maple syrup is all, you know, maple syrup has a lot of qualities like honey does, right? Whereas, like, if you have allergies, you can eat maple syrup from that area, and it will clear up your allergies. You are
Isn't
eating
that
the essence.
crazy? Yeah, people. I mean, people don't remember that. It's like, just eat the honey from your area. If you have allergies,
Yep.
eat the honey from your
Yep.
area, and you're gonna.
Go eat the local one, and it'll clear you up.
Yeah. And
It will
now
clear you
that
up.
those are wise tales, that ain't true. That can't be real. Can that be possible? If that was true, why wouldn't they be telling us that?
Yeah. I mean, why is there Surtec if that's true? You know, why is there Claritin if that's true?
Right?
Because we are big pharma.
Yeah.
Big pharma has infiltrated our herbs and our alchemy, and it says, oh, these are what you need to take if you're having these symptoms. Not go out and munch on a little bit of dandelion root if you got an upset tummy, you know, or eat a little bit of elderberry juice if you have diarrhea,
Or some peppermint
you know what I mean?
to help with, digestive issues. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
No, they don't tell you that. They say ingest some Pepto.
Yeah.
You know, that turns your stools black.
Right? Yeah. Because
Cool.
it's got charcoal or something in it and pulls that shit out or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know how that works.
it's that bismuth.
Yeah.
It does something to your intestines,
Yeah.
and it's a chemical reaction. You know, you take one shot of bismuth, and it makes your stool look like you ate a whole box of Oreos.
Oh,
You'd be like, what?
that's terrible.
What?
I know. That's
I
terrible.
can't be good.
No.
Yeah.
I gotta clean my workstation, buddy. What else is going on in the world, man? I'm sure there's some kind of news out of Florida. There's gotta be. Florida.
We got somebody looking in our windows right now. But put your pants on.
Oh, yeah?
I see a lurker. Put your
Uh-oh.
pants back on. There's somebody. We got some people, Tom. Hey, when you're in somebody's chat, and you're watching, and it's only like one or two people in there, but you're enjoying, or you want to watch, or you're taking notes.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird when you don't talk, and it makes you feel weird too when you go into somebody's chat and you're the only person in there, and like they're talking and they're trying to interact with you, but you're like just sitting there watching. It's like a Peep and Tom. It's like they're just sitting there watching you, and they're not talking.
Watching,
They're just
judging.
Yeah, they're just watching you. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but we're not going to bite.
No.
We're not going to bite. We're not going to hurt you.
Maybe they
You
are
know,
trying
if you
to
want
chat.
to email us, rayridiculous@gmail.com. Email us.
No,
we can talk on the back end.
Ridiculous Ray. It's Ridiculous Ray.
Oh, I
Ridiculous-
apologize. I
Yeah,
apologize. Scratch that. Reverse it.
COLIOUSRAE. Yes, ridiculous is misspelled because it's fucking ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Yes.
So, ridiculous Ray. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like a bugger, I stick to this. Woo! Take a whiff of this. Oh, stinky dinky.
Righto. Ridiculous Ray at gmail.com. And I'll post that down there in the comments later. So.
Yeah, we drop a link. Drop a little stinky linky down there.
Hit us up.
Bid you a good morning. A cheers.
Cheers. What are you drinking
Hold up
on,
your
bud?
goblets. I was drinking it on a glass of hot cocoa, but now I've switched back to coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, black coffee.
Oh,
Yeah, I like my coffee like I like my coffee. Black.
Yeah, my mother was in the hospital. Nurse asked me how to like coffee. I was like, how I like my women. This particular nurse happened to be black. And I looked at her, and I smiled, and I said, sweet and creamy. She wasn't expecting that. My mom was like, I can't believe it. I'm sorry. That's how my son is. Whatever.
I
You only got
like
one
my
life, right,
coffee.
brother?
I like my heart dark, cold.
Right?
Right.
So, but we're having fun.
And on a brighter note, don't use dryer sheets in your dryer no more because they
No
will kill
mo.
you. On a brighter note,
Yeah, in other news.
in other news, they brought back lawn darts. It's a new, safer version. They don't have a spike on the end of it. Now it's just a blunt object.
I guess,
But recent recalls due from blunt force trauma to kids. Who would have thought?
so,
Oh, yeah. Who would have thunk it?
yep. I guess the violence over there in Hong Kong is just getting worse. So,
Then the glaciers are melting at an ever-precedent all-time high, releasing all kinds of fresh, oxygenated water into the atmosphere and into the oceans, lowering the salinity, bringing new life, restoring vitality. It's like the wrinkle cream of the earth.
what's that? What's the wrinkle cream
I was
again?
just talking about the wrinkle cream of the earth is the glaciers melting. That's right.
Yeah, you cover it with water and it's all smooth, like water. Oh, I got all kinds of paperwork. My office space is not prepared for this or that.
So we were talking about a building the other day and how it's been torn down, but it was an old building. Did it have rubber rooms down in the basement?
No, it didn't have rubber rooms, but it had solitary rooms within it, like many other mental institutions did. I mean, you
That's amazing.
look at, you can go to YouTube, you can Google, and hold on a second.
That's something I'd like to do. I'd like to pull that up into Google Earth and use some of those older data files and see that building, what it was, because it's been so long since I've seen it. But I don't know. Maybe it was just a spooky day that I chose to see it. That was about one of the creepiest buildings I've ever did lay my eyes on. And then hearing stories from my parents about that building and how in the basement it has rubber rooms.
No, there was no
crazy folks that used to walk the hallways. And
There was
actually did a couple of interviews with a couple people that were in that. Because back when they were in school, that old building still had patients in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That up until the mid '70s, I think. And the rooms down there, a lot of patients were locked in there, and the only thing they were really given access to was reading material and crayons or paints or whatever.
Wow.
And when they tore down that building, it man, my pup is just making all kinds of noise. There you go. Take it over there.
I bet they found all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, they tore some of the walls out of the basement where those solitary rooms were, because some of the patients were like making art, like drawing art on the walls, and some of that art is on display now at the state building, like the Capitol building, and some of the like administrative buildings for that hospital, and it's just impressive artwork. So.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Just a creepy property altogether. I knew somebody who lived on the back side of that, on the other side, and they said that when they were younger, that there would be times that they would wake up and there would be people in their nightgowns or their, hospital bibs, just kind of standing and wandering around in the front yard.
No shit.
Yeah, people would get out. You know, it didn't happen often, but every now and then it would.
Well, that's, yeah. Well,
Their
that's
daddy would just call them up
then,
and be like, "Hey, you got another wanderer out here. He's just standing out here smelling my flowers."
well, you know, that was the perks of living so close to a place like that. You got to meet the locals.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that whole community
The old
up there
Bridget
by
went to that place was
Yeah.
crazy. It was
Oh, yeah.
absolutely insane. Can you
Yes.
imagine that old wagon coming down and they're like, "Oh, here comes the wagon. How comes it's coming to town?" Like, "Oh, old man Perkins, he done went nuts. One too
Right.
many glasses of that, you know."
Well, it wasn't
dragon
just
dead
people
type-
of that town; it was of the whole state. I mean, that hospital serviced the whole state.
The whole state.
The whole state. I mean,
Amazing.
people came from all over Kansas to go to that hospital. So it was,
It's quite amazing.
And there was a choice given to either have a hospital or
Hospital or university.
a university, and they chose the hospital thinking, you know, the jobs and such. So the university went to Lawrence, and the state hospital went to Osawatomie. And now Lawrence is a thriving community because it's a college community, and Osawatomie is dead. I haven't been there in years, but the last time I went through, it was just couldn't believe it.
Well, there never was any commerce there. They had the railroad yard.
Well, when the railroad left that community, that was the downcline or the downfall. You know, the start of the downfall of the community, and then when the state hospital there started closing buildings, and you know the cutback on funding for mental health led to, you know, less beds being filled, so there was a less need for employees. Plus, that place is, it's old. The buildings, most of the buildings there are old. They're 100 years old or better, you know, and some of it is prison now.
They built that town to utilize the river, and now, you know, we are advanced civilization. We're not that reliant on water. We can run some pipes to it and back off a little ways. And, you know, each time it floods out, that's money that comes out of the city's pocket.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, that community, like many other communities in the 50s, you know, the Corps of Engineers came in and built a dike around the communities, and for the most part, a lot of those communities have been safe. Other communities, the dike has failed. Corps of Engineers have had to come in and fix the dike, raise it up, you know, do stuff like that. But with, you know, I'm not going to say man-made climate change, but there's definitely some climate change where they say it's getting warmer, but I don't know if you've been paying attention. Where I live, it's colder than more often than not lately. You know, it's not warm, it's cold.
Yeah.
And you know, for the first time in almost 9 years, the mountains kept snow on them all year. They stayed capped, and you know, until we finally got snowfall again this year. It didn't quit snowing around here until I want to say April.
Woke up yesterday, and there was snow. Snow was falling.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So, in a region where you shouldn't be getting snow like that.
No.
Not this early.
No, we broke records. We broke records last night. Yeah, records were broken. It got very, very cold. But all over the Weather Channel was talking about 7 dead in snow, cold, massive pileups. Yesterday I seen another one. Another pile up. That was 12 cars.
Really?
The jet stream once that jet stream hits Texas, it's going like straight south towards Louisiana, and then curving back up through the panhandle of Florida, and it's just kind of going up, you know, up the eastern coastline. It's an icy Arctic blast.
Remnants.
It's a record Arctic blast.
Have you seen this?
Records are being set in the Midwest as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've had. Here's the thing, though. I mean, how much volcanic activity have we had in the last couple of years? Like, you know, the last 2 years, at least 2-3 years. Quite a bit.
Yeah, well,
You know, considering.
how many of those volcanoes that don't get talked about in mainstream that are off erupting on islands in the middle of the ocean somewhere?
They pop. They
That
throw. They
scientists are
throw
like,
silica.
no, we don't need to talk about these. We don't need to
Yeah.
talk about. We're
Well,
trying to lower emissions. If we tell them that there's a volcano popping off, they're gonna be like, well, what's my Isuzu gonna do to pollute the air?
Right, and it's, well, you know, those volcanoes, they put a lot of stuff into the air. I mean, when a volcano erupts, we're talking it blows stuff, 25, 30,000 feet up. You know, it's going high, and then the jet streams catch that, and it carries it around the world, and that stuff is rich in silica and other, real fine material. And when it spreads around the world like that, when you get multiple eruptions and you get that ash spreading, it creates like a
microclimate.
It reflects the sun off over time. After it goes around the world, and disperses, it creates like this blanket to reflect some light off, so it helps actually cool the planet. So you get some pretty good, you get some pretty good pops on some volcanoes back to back. You're going to see some cooling. We've seen that in the early '80s after Mount St. Helens erupted. The winters, like after that, the couple winters after that, it was pretty brutal. I remember,
That's right. Yeah. It affected it big time.
Yeah.
And when you have these volcanoes that erupt under the water, you never see the eruption, but they're still increasing the water temperature and releasing all kinds of different chemicals into the water, acids and good stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there's microlife that thrives on those vents down there.
Yeah, it's crazy. They survive in that acidic environment.
Mm-hmm.
They thrive. You put them in fresh water and they die.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those are the real survivors, right?
I'm telling you. Isn't that crazy?
Uh-huh. Talk about going off grid. Those suckers are off grid.
Right. So we oh man.
It's been a good morning so far.
Yeah, it has.
A war hadn't broke out yet.
No.
And our government's still in control, so I mean that's a bonus.
Yeah, we got 1 like on our video so far too. Whoa.
That's amazing. We got a like.
We got 1 like.
Love.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Well, we got 2 likes. Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Go ahead and
amazing.
don't forget to hit that like button.
Where is the
and go ahead and subscribe too, if you haven't already, and share this with your friends. It's just morning coffee, morning brew with the monkey crew. So, hanging out.
Good times.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry.
Good times. Ridgemont High. I love it.
Oh yeah, So I was looking here on my phone at some stuff here. They say remnants of an ancient wall identified in Iran.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen this floating around the news. In
Iran, huh?
Yeah, Tehran.
I see them pop up in the news all the time.
Well, there's a lot of history over there, It's one place I love to Google.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of these nights I'll go live.
A lot of
We'll just cruise over Iran with Google Earth and just look at some crazy images I have there.
Just
Say
jet
no.
over Iran, check it out, say hi
Yeah.
everybody. How's your
Oh,
father?
yeah.
How's your father?
I did send off some of those images that I found. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I probably won't.
You never know.
What?
You don't know until you try.
What's this? Well, I need to put my spectacles on. Oh, I can't read anymore, bud. What's up with that? I gotta have glasses on to read. Went to the eye doctor yesterday, and they're like, "We gotta dilate your eyes." And I said, "No, not today." Well, we can't do it
Low
then.
on
I'm
beta
like,
carotene.
"What's that?" No. What is this? That is. What was that? Did
There's
you
no
hear that?
telling. There's absolutely no telling. I think we have a ghost.
Really?
You know, all the property is on sacred hunting land. I'm not sure.
Hey. Joanne Hayes.
Who?
Oh, I just,
I don't know that lady.
I don't either.
Knock knock.
What is going on here?
Knock knock.
Knock, knock. Who is there?
Dwayne.
Dwayne who?
Dwayne the bathtub. I'm drowning.
I'm Dwayne the bathtub. Dwayne. Dwayne who? Dwayne the bathtub. My mom told me that. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
One who?
Wait. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Oh, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?
No goodness.
Dad jokes.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Loud interrupting cow.
Not interrupting cow who?
No. Here's a bad one. Here's a bad one. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Loud interrupting doctor.
Loud interrupting.
You got
doctor.
cancer.
Oh. That's terrible.
That's wrong. That's
Yeah.
wrong, right?
Yeah, that's wrong. It's funny, but it's okay to laugh.
It's okay when you follow that joke up with the, loud interrupting cow.
Yeah.
If you just come out and say the loud interrupting doctor without having anything ahead of that, then yeah, you're kind of setting yourself up. They'll be like, okay, you just went full retard there. Appreciate that.
Right? What were you thinking? Yeah. Oh.
The insanity.
Oh. Yeah.
You know how to catch a unique rabbit, don't you?
Unique up on it.
That's exactly right. You know how to catch a tame rabbit?
How? Same way.
The, the tame way.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy now, was he?
Nope. Say, I came across this cat on YouTube yesterday, and I'm going to try to get a hold of him. Colorado Bigfoot or Bigfoot Colorado, I can't remember his name, but I was watching a couple of his videos, and he was showing some, he was like showing these structures, like, oh, this is Bigfoot stuff, and I'm like, I don't know about the whole Bigfoot stuff, but where is that? Because that's definitely a dolmen. It's, you know, someone built that. I don't know if a Bigfoot or a Yeti or a Dogman, whatever, built it, but that wasn't put there by nature like that, and I'd like to know where that is, you know?
I've seen this guy. He's got a high-powered camera. He'll get down on the bottom of a mountain and he'll spot areas from the ground. And then he'll be like, okay, I'm going to that spot. And so then he just takes off and hikes out in the middle of nowhere and finds all these down trees and these little like, tree-made villages. You know, and it'd be one thing if these trees were saplings, but we're talking about, 60, 80-foot, spruce and pines.
Right?
Not something that people can move around.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
all kinds of speculation. When you do a selective timbering, a lot of the saplings will get damaged and mold over and stuff. And after 5, 6 years, you don't see the signs of the timbering, but you still see those bent over trees.
Right?
But he goes on a sense and a feeling, and there has been a couple of videos of his that I've watched where he's picked up some kind of movement, and it was definitely something there, and it wasn't. The best way I can describe it is, when they speed up spooky segments in scary movies now and they make people walk all fast for a second,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't look natural, it looks all sketchy. He picked up an image of that, of something that looked like a monkey, a white monkey, standing up, and it like taking off like that, way off in the distance. Yeah. And you could search it probably by the most viewed. If you went to his channel and searched his channel's videos by most viewed, it's probably the first one that would pop up was when he actually caught something.
Right?
But to be honest with you, Bigfoot's everywhere. We've known they were here. You can ask any Native American tribe, and they will tell you the Bigfoots have been here. The Army Corps tributaries all across this nation.
Yeah.
Public waterways all across this nation. Not all of them are used for water. Some of them are just used for recreation. Still Army Corps engineer.
Yeah. Well, we used to fish a big lake that was built by the Corps engineers, remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Caught some good old crappie out of that lake. Fantastic.
It was a treaty signed by our government and the government of the Bigfoots, saying, listen, we will let you move out in our country, and we won't kill your cattle, we won't kill you, so we can eat fish. And you've got to stock it for fish for us.
Right.
And they're like, dang it. So we got to build a lake, and we've got to stock it for fish for the Bigfoot. Well, how are we going to do that? Where are we going to get this money? Fishing license. Well, you're paying. They tell you that you're paying to feed to fish, but you're paying for the stocking programs.
Right. Oh yeah. They do stock those lakes, and then a lot of states will build their own fishing lake for recreation purposes. So.
That's right. There's a lot of state lakes all across the nation.
Oh yeah.
And our state lake was in the middle of freaking nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. Like, we call that area BFE. If y'all aren't familiar with what BFE is, that's where state lakes are.
Yeah. For sure.
And why dump that much money into a lake out in the middle of nowhere for like that?
I
It
don't
just
know.
befuddles me.
Yeah, me
But what was
too.
funny is where they built that lake, just right on the other side of the river. And if you look at it topographically, where that lake is, that's the closest the river comes to that little valley. It gets real close in there, and they said, all right, we're going to put a lake here.
Right?
I wonder if they used the river to help fill that lake up.
I don't know. Man,
I don't know if you spent a lot of time out there, but in my adolescence, I spent a lot of time out there.
My camera's coming apart. I just bought this thing. Where did I buy this at? Oh.
So I found a chunk of property over by you. It's 2 acres,
Yeah?
about a mile off the interstate.
Really?
It was only $1.2 million.
Only. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah. I'm saving up for it and saving money in my swear jar. Shit. Oh, there goes another quarter.
There goes another what?
Quarter.
Oh.
Woo! That was a lovely lunch of Tyson's chicken nuggets,
Oh, yeah?
Brussels sprouts, and spaghetti rings with meatballs.
Really?
Probably just took a couple of years off my life with that meal, but that's all right. Sometimes you got to take one for the team.
It's okay. Chicken nuggets are yummy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love machine separated chicken, squeezed into nugget shaped droppings, battered and fried.
Mixed in ammonia. Whoa.
Put a little bit of gelatin in the meat mixture, helps it stick together better.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
They got it figured out. I'll tell you who else has got it figured out. Back in the day, a young man and his donkey decided they were going to get into a cheese business.
Right?
Got him a trailer, started making cheese, started selling cheese locally. Young man was working his tail off, him and his donkey both, around the clock. He said, donkey, we can't keep doing this like this. We're killing ourselves. You're half lame. The trailer's almost broke. I'm broke down. What are we going to do? And he's like, you know what? I'm tired of worrying about this. All I do is worry about our cheese business.
Right?
I'm not gonna worry about it no more. I'm gonna let whatever power, higher power, worry about this. I'm gonna give all the worry to him. From now on, everything we do, we're gonna go to the higher power first. So that's what this guy started doing.
Right?
And that man's name was John Kraft.
Kraft cheese, folks.
Of Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Which is now one of the biggest corporations in the country as far as your food goes. Kraft.
But he sold out. It's not
Yeah.
owned by him no more.
No. No, those like what is it, Mars or
He's like, all right, we're putting too many barrels of chemicals into this cheese now, like what we used to when I made it.
right?
Then now some of the sliced cheese that you buy, you can hold a lighter to it and it won't melt. It just burns.
It's scary.
and
It's
pops.
not.
and
It's
scissors.
processed cheese food
There's
product.
ice cream. They have ice cream too, Breyer's ice cream. Take the ice cream out and let it sit on the counter and come to it about 2 or 3 hours later. It's not melted. It's still in ice cream form. It's not cold anymore, but it's not melted.
That's crazy.
You know, ice cream melts down to a puddle of milk in the bottom of your bowl. It don't hold form once it hits room temperature. Yeah, there's all kinds of people that do all those little studies with processed foods on YouTube. You know, there's one guy who had a McDonald's cheeseburger from 1965 that he like pulled out of a suitcase and was like, "Whoa, I haven't used a suitcase since '65. Like, there's something to be said about this cheeseburger because it looks delicious."
Right? So, a medieval high-status building was discovered underneath public toilets in Cardiff, UK, in what changes the way we think about Welsh history. So, yeah, it's amazing.
Change the way we think about it, or we changing the history books on what was written? Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't go back far enough to really change history books. You want to go back far enough to change history books, you got to go back to where we don't have written history and find written history. Or piece it together.
Rewrite history.
Oh yeah, we can rewrite history all day.
Here's a new one for you. Jolly Ranchers aren't Jolly Rancher shaped no more.
What are
They've got this new little shape going on that's shaped like a sucrette. You remember the sucrettes? Cherry float Rossingers? Yeah, they're shaped like a sucrette now.
Oh yeah. Well, they used to come in squares like that when you can buy them at a pack of like 10. They'd come like that. So now you just buy them like that now. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You buy the stacks of Jolly Ranchers. Well, that's basically what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Old news. Nothing to see here, folks. Moving on.
Now and later's that was a candy. I love me some now and later.
Was good. What about the Mambas? The Mamba Chews. Those were good too. 5 different packs, different flavors in each pack. Mamba.
Oh yeah.
Airheads.
Right.
The giant gummy. As I'm rating my candy dish from Halloween.
Well.
That's how we do it.
We just can't tell. Well, Mama Shell.
Fruit punch flavored foodies made by Tootie Rolls.
Oh yeah. That's just terrible for you.
Foodies. Fruit flavored fruit punch flavored Tootsie Roll with red number 44 in it.
Oh yeah, buddy.
This candy is all artificial. Corn syrup.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Malic acid. Red 40. Isn't Red 40 the cancer killer?
November 4th. Compromised email address. My Heritage. Well. That's okay. I change my passwords on a regular so they can play those games if they want. It's not like I got... Well, anything of importance sits in the safe, so everything else can just be replaced. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man.
I know what you're saying.
Yo, man.
I know what you mean.
Yo, what
I know what you mean, Burn.
You know what I'm saying? Smell
Know
what
what I
I'm
mean,
stepping
Burn?
in, homie. Wait, there we go. Doom. So,
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low.
what do you think of that new Tool album? Have you had a chance to give it a good listen?
I have a couple songs.
Yeah.
They snuck it in me. Hey, snuck it in me. I was listening to Amazon Music, shuffling Tool songs, and then it started playing a song, and I was like, this isn't Tool. I've never heard this song before. I know every Tool song. This is not Tool. So I looked it up. I was like, oh, man, they slipped in the new album on me. So, yeah, I wanted to wait to watch them live, but oh, well. It was really good. Very tribal.
Yeah.
Danny Carey's really flexing his stuff in this album. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I've already heard it in a couple of the songs.
I like my favorite track on that album is Tempest, like the 7th track, I think. 6th, 7th track. That's a good
The
one.
lyrics that stuck out to me was that we beat on our chest like we beat on our drums.
Right.
You know, it's very symbolic.
Right. Well, those guys, Danny, he's always been into like, rhythm and sound and, the geometry of music. And he's more than just a drummer.
Yeah, the perfect geometry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the golden formula.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of us Midwest boys are into that weird stuff, right?
Right.
There ain't nothing to do out on that farm. But
Nope.
look up in that big blue sky.
You catch a radio broadcast
Right.
over on AM of some crazy bastard talking about something, and then off you go.
That's right. And you're like, dang gum, that's a lot of stars up in the sky.
Yeah, it is. Sure a lot going on out there and make you think that there's nothing going on.
You get out by
there.
block. You get out by block where you get outside of all that light distortion there where we grew up. And you go out there in the middle of nowhere, shut your lights off in the middle of a cornfield and just look up. You see every single star that was ever created.
Yep. And every once in a while, one of them big old stealth bombers will buzz your ass, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good time after you smoked a big old joint and you're laying on the hood of your car and you hear this, and it just flies over about 300 yards above you. You're like, holy shit.
Where did you come from?
Yep, they've done that to me several times out there with that air base being just to the east, they got night vision and shit. They can see us out there. Like, they're probably 2 miles, 3 miles
zooming
back
around
and
in
like,
the dark.
Zoom in and be like, hey, look at them kids down there sitting out in the middle of the field. Looks like they're passing something around. Let's buzz their ass. And everyone freaks out and then the pilots are laughing.
Yep. Maniacs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's just wide open. You get out there in the Great Plains, and I'm sure it's just wide open. I'm sure it's like the highway for them. No mountains or nothing till you hit Colorado, and then nothing in the other direction till you hit the Blue Ridge, Appalachian.
Yeah, that whole Midwest flight's probably just, well, depending on how fast they're going. You ever heard that story?
What's their cruising speed? About 1,200 mile an hour?
Well, some of them, I don't know. Some of them jets, like the SR-71 Blackbird, that thing was fast. Like, really fast.
Yeah, they have that plane on display in Hutchinson, Kansas, in the Air Museum.
Yep. Yeah, they do.
Hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
it's a big bird.
Well, Lockheed Martin, I think, or Boeing, one of the two, whoever built that, they were actually built in Wichita, Kansas, I believe.
That's right.
Did you know that? A lot of war planes are built in Wichita. Wichita and Seattle, believe it or not, two big producers of aircraft. So,
Wichita's a big railroad hub.
Yeah, sure is.
And there ain't nothing out there, so to get something on a railroad in and out of there is easy. That's no hills, no nothing.
Yep.
No, you get out there in western Kansas and you'll see a light blinking off in the distance, and you'll stop thinking about it. And about 5 minutes later, you'll see, and you'll be looking at that same blinking light. You'll be like, how far away is that dang light?
Right.
flat.
Well, the
Ain't
curvature of
nothing
the
to
Earth
see.
is 7 miles. You can, if you were standing on flat Earth, like just flat ground for the most part, or let's just say you're standing on the beach and you're looking out to sea or out to the ocean, the curvature of the Earth, where the horizon meets the ocean, they say that's about 7 miles.
That's right. That's when you can start seeing the curvature.
Yep. These flat earthers are all like, ooh. I'm like, I tell you what, buddy. If the Earth is flat, I'll pay for your trip out here. We'll drag out my big ass telescope. We'll go to a high ass peak and we'll point that son of a bitch. Oh, let's say at Kansas City. And see if we can see the lights. If the Earth is flat, we should be able to see Kansas City, right?
Right, because you're a lot higher up than them, and you should be able to see Kansas City.
You should be able to see out there.
It disappears. It disappears from the curvature.
Yeah, but if the Earth is flat, there's no curvature. You should be able to look right at Kansas City.
Yeah, but
you should be able to go to a high point and be able to look. You should be able to get a really, really super powerful telescope and look at Paris or Chicago.
I mean, ask any pilot and tell them, hey, how does autopilot work? And it's constantly adjusting for altitude for the curvature of the Earth. It's set in the program.
Yeah.
It knows when you're heading in this direction that it constantly has to be flying upwards, or it's going to eventually hit the ground.
Yeah. Well, people are like, well, if a plane takes off and it flies level, it's not flying level. It feels like it's flying level, but you got the gravitational pull on the plane, and then you have the lift from the wings counteracting.
Yeah.
So it's flying. Yeah.
To be flying up is flying level.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, you're a flat earther? Oh, man.
Flat earthers.
I don't know what to say.
I'm sorry for the flat earthers. They've got that. Once they figure that one out in their mind, then everything else will fall into play. But if you're stuck on the flat earth, your whole life is in turmoil right now.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing is making sense.
For sure.
You are causing your own chaos if you believe that the earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
It's physically impossible.
Yeah. It's messed up.
Air pressure is what holds us to the earth. That's why once you get up above the atmosphere so far, you don't have that air on top of you holding you down.
Nope.
And you float around. No gravitational pull.
Well, hey, hold on a second. I'm going to go get me something to drink. Go ahead and keep talking, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to keep talking. I don't even know if there's anybody in here. But I will keep talking.
We got 2 listeners.
2 listeners? All right, that's what I'm talking about. 2 listeners. That's a party. Hi, party. So yesterday, I was getting some firewood, and I seen a bug walking across my mantle. And at first it looked like a stick bug, but then I seen him stick 2 arms out. And the 2 arms resembled what a praying mantis looks like. And so I did a little research, thought I found an alien bug. But no, it's not. It's actually called a barren beetle, and it is closely related to the stick bug and both the praying mantis. It doesn't have the alien-like mantis head. It does have the mantis-like claws. The legs are very long and thin, though, unlike a praying mantis. And the body's also awfully thin, like a stick bug. And these guys are spider assassins. And that's what they use those little appendages for. And the really thin legs, they can maneuver around on spider webs quite gracefully, like a spider does. So yeah, another new critter. It's always fun when I find new critters. It's quite amazing. I'm pulling up the chat here. I just kind of wing it. Unscripted, unfiltered, uncut, raw. That's how we do it around here.
Yeah,
Get our chops back.
get her chops back.
Once we start rolling and we get a schedule and stuff, we'll start inviting some more of the locals. We're establishing ourselves, establishing our equipment, establishing ourselves in the community. It's all about establishing right now. You know, we've got a spot clock picked out. We fought off the wolves. We're fighting off the bears. The tigers haven't made it here yet, but the walls are going up, so it doesn't matter. All right, here we go.
What?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You are my sunshine. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on a second. All right. Got really good signal for some reason. Oh, that's awful. Why would you upload that? Captain Narkill obviously got some wisdom tooth pulled, and he took pictures of the wisdom teeth, and that's his thumbnail, and the teeth are all purple and bloody looking. Oh, it's awful. Oh, goodness. Heavens to Betsy.
Who is that?
Captain Narkill. He's another gentleman in the community. He was one of the ones from back in the day, and he started his own channel, started doing his own thing. He was a heavy drinker. He sobered up, went to the meetings, and he kind of laid witness to his journey down through alcoholism and getting sober. And he kind of documented his experience on YouTube and got a lot of people behind him supporting him. He's a good guy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Good guy for California bird.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There we go. I like that a little better. Is that better?
All right, that's better. I like that.
Sound better? Yeah, I do too. I had to
Sounds amazing.
place the mic in a different spot. But I'm happy with this spot.
I will be getting one eventually, but just I've got some tools that I need to purchase this month.
Yeah.
That's cutting into my funds.
The fund?
Come next month, I will definitely be getting an upgraded microphone. Although these JBL Bluetooth headsets have a wonderful microphone in them.
They do. I'm going to have to.
Nothing compares to
I'm going to have to look
a
at
digitized,
figuring
a
out
condensed
how to,
microphone, a condenser.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to get the echo. Well, you know, I think I'm going to have to probably move my studio into another room that I can, or figure out how I can stop, you know, the echo. Like, you know, the area that I'm in now, it's just open. I need to, like, I'm going to order some. I was thinking about ordering those foam blocks that you can put on your walls, you know, to help stop that.
You could build a little foam box around your microphone and put your microphone within that foam box and have it open facing you and talk into it. That's going to kill a lot of echo.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe I should read the instructions on this thing as well. I'm sure there's
Yeah, I would think that thing, you should be able to turn down a gain somewhere to control that.
Right.
It's got 3 pickups. It's got your highs, your mids, and your lows. You turn down your highs a little bit. That'll probably take care of that echo.
Oh boy.
Turn down the mids a little bit.
Oh, sounds like a little one.
The Quiet Storm. Dum dum dum.
The Quiet Before the Storm. Oh, there it is. Well,
Welcome to the Quiet Storm.
yeah.
I know this much is true. It's like a classic 80s song for the Quiet Storm. You're listening to the Quiet Storm. Oh, sweet baby.
There we go. Had to put the knobs back in. I'm going to put my stand back in the box later for this. And, oh, yeah. Yeah, my son, when my son comes to visit, he's going to be like, what's going on here? I'll be like, stuff. He'll be like, can I play games?
Yeah, that's what I would tell him. That's exactly. I'd be like, I got into gaming.
I got into gaming.
Oh, man.
Pretty bad.
I got into gaming. Have like his two favorite games pulled up as your screensavers.
Oh, yeah. Fortnite and it'd be Fortnite and well, what is that game he plays with the nuclear wasteland game?
Yeah.
Like,
I have a couple of the Fortnite props laying around, like the unicorn hammer, the keg hammer.
Be like, you used to yell at me for playing games, and all you do is play games. I'm like, yeah, but I'm 40-some years old, and I pay my bills. I don't know, though. This is, look, I have all my stuff, and I work, and I pay my bills, and you were not doing that.
Yeah, you do that, and he's liable to be like, that's it, I'm moving back to Dad's.
I'll be like, yeah, when you're done with school, you're more than welcome to move out. But you're going to finish school where you're at.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
You're not going to leave Grandma.
First. Yeah. Remember that bed I was telling you about that you're going to have to be sleeping in? This is that bed.
Yep. You made that bed. Now you have to sleep in it. No. He's... Yeah. His aunt and uncle, they're good.
Man,
mom passed away, man.
comparatively,
handle that shit.
Look back at that age and think about the things that you used to do at that age, and then you're like, wow.
Oh, when I was his age,
angels.
I was already in. When I was his age, I was already in jail like twice.
See, our kids are angels.
Yeah, our kids are angels. He's a good kid.
Kids are angels. That's what we got to keep telling ourselves.
Well,
you speak it and you make it so.
When
you're a good
child
kid,
loses,
you're a good kid.
When a child loses a parent, it's traumatic, man. It's at a young age. He was.
Yeah, it is.
What,
anybody loses their parent, but yeah,
15?
for a child, they just. And it takes some years on this planet to understand what life's about.
Oh yeah, that's just a brutal life lesson right there at a young age.
Right.
It's hard for a child to lose
some great aunts,
and then you
see some great aunts and some great uncles go, and maybe a great grandparent go. And it eases you into, your aunts and uncles and your grandparents, and it's a cycle.
Yeah.
And each time it happens, they get closer and closer and closer to you. And sometimes the situation ends up where now you're outliving your kids.
It's not
now
good
you have your kids.
It's not good for a kid to see. It's not good for a young kid like that, a adolescent child to see a parent pass and then watch their other parent like begin to struggle and have issues, oh shit,
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
You got to go, it's just, you got to go on reset. You got to go back to square one.
Yeah.
Go back to,
Start
okay,
over.
what was I doing before where was I 16 years ago? You know, oh, I was working all the time with my head down. Okay, that's what I went back to. You know, so.
Yep. That's it. We live, we learn, we work, we teach, and we die. We live, we learn, we work, we teach, and we die.
Nah, he likes it back where he's living. He always said, I don't like. But he didn't like bouncing around. Number one, you know, with working, he wasn't okay with that. So it's like he's got to be more stable. You got to have a stable environment for your children. Just because your child doesn't live with you doesn't mean you're a bad parent. Sometimes our work, you know, puts us in a situation where I make really good fucking money. But I'm never home when I'm working. You can't parent like that.
That's it.
You know?
No.
And
that's what we build our society around, though, is that we don't have time to parent now.
Oh yeah.
We started seeing that back in the 80s, you know, in the 70s. We just sit kids down in front of a TV, turn on a program, and they just go mind them for a couple hours.
Well, and see, that was my problem. Was I was like, turn the fucking TV off and go ride your bike. And he didn't want that. He wanted to, like all his peers, he wanted to sit down in front of the TV. He wants to play the video games.
Do nothing.
He wants to do what his peers are doing, and I understand that. You know, we wanted to do what our peers were doing. Our parents, it's the same. That's how it is. But when their peers, when the activities that they're doing is not good, on a whole,
exactly.
You know, but it's so widespread. What do you do? How do you fight that when stuff that shouldn't be normal is normalized? How is that okay? You know?
You play the game better than your kids, and then you get onto those game channels and you just dominate everybody and you make it not fun.
Yeah. Like, well, that was the thing.
That's the only way that you beat. The only way to beat them is to join them.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, fine, look, I grab a controller, I'm like, best 2 out of 3, winner. You know, if I win, video games go off, you do your chores, we're done here for the day. You win, you get another hour. And he would always just look down because he knew he's about to get his ass handed to him. I'm like, dude, these things were around before you were born.
Coming. He was like,
do you think I don't know how to handle one of these controllers? I was playing Mortal Kombat in 8-bit, motherfucker.
That's right. We didn't have turbo buttons. We had turbo fingers.
Right?
Yeah. You created the glitch for rapid fire yourself.
Right.
Glitch that finger out. You know, create a mini seizure within your arm.
Like, or tapping it with 2 fingers. Like double tapping the trigger on a paintball gun. How you getting them out so fast? I got the fucking double trigger, man.
That's right. Because I'm Les Claypool slapping the bass, man.
Right. What a beautiful day. Got the windows open.
It looks like it's beautiful outside. It's not beautiful. It's cold.
Yeah.
Got the heat lamp out for the kiddies last night. I didn't see them one bit. They were curled up in front of that little heat lamp.
Yeah. Well, it's almost 11:15.
Yeah, it's time for me to start this day.
Yep, same
We had a
here.
good run this morning.
We did.
We touched on a lot of cool, hot topics.
Right. Well,
I liked it.
as always,
I bid you a good day.
bid you a good day. This was Morning Brew with your monkey crew, Philo and Nabu. You all have a great rest of your day.
Bananas.